Much for that introduction. I'm also excited today because the person I'm sharing the platform with has been my mentor, my teacher, the person who brought it into the business, and it's really a privilege for me to share this evening with him and also with our big team that have started the business. So if you give me a few minutes, I want to share the screen with you. As Paul has said, my name is Pascal Oloo. I am trained as a civil engineer, and my wife and I live in Pretoria, South Africa. Born Kenyan, and I've been living in South Africa for the last 27 years. So the mission of our company or our business is very, very simple. It is to make the world a healthier and a happier place. And that involves two things. It means that you need to be healthy, and it also means that you need to have good relationships, but also have sufficient amount of income to be able to enjoy life. You see, you could have a lot of money, but you spend most of your time in a 5-star hospital. Or you could have a lot of time, but you don't have money to enjoy life with. But you see, all this starts with you. You, the guests who are attending this meeting today, or you, the distributor who is taking part in this presentation. Betty and I started this business 26 years ago. And the reason we started this business is very simple. We wanted to make extra money. Our main reason for starting the business was money. Because when I was growing up, my father used to say, son, go to school, get a good education, get a good and secure job with the government. I think the town I grew up in, my father saw some contractors who are doing very well financially and told me, son, do civil engineering. And because I was inclined to sciences, I took engineering. I finished my engineering course. Then I met this wonderful lady called Betty. And you know, when a man and a woman gets together, there's natural expansion. Children come along. But you see, when children come along, also the cost of things also goes higher. The demand of the family increase, but your income or your salary does not keep up with the expenses of your family needs. So when we came to South Africa, we thought that we should do something extra to generate income. I remember very clearly that when we came to South Africa, and my first salary, when I got my first pay slip, 33% of my income went to tax. And I was very, very concerned. In fact, I told Betty that, look, we've left our country 4,000 kilometers away, and it looks as if what we are earning in Kenya was similar to what we are earning here. Something must not be right. So anyway, I went and enrolled. I did a postgraduate course in construction management. And when I finished, not a single cent of increase was there in my salary. And that really what frustrated me. Because I thought that with additional, if I had an additional degree, and with more experience, I'd be able to earn more money. That story no longer applies anymore. So secondly, the other thing that actually pushed us or drove us to join the business is one of our children has got an illness called sickle cell. And because of his condition, it required one of us as parents to be at home full time. So when we started the business, I remember a friend of Betty called her and told her, look, we have started a business. I think it's something that you can look at because we know you have a sick child and you may want to work from home to grow an income. Betty went for the presentation, and the speaker that evening was none other than our guest today. That's why I'm eternally grateful to him, because his story was very similar to ours. And that's what really flipped for Betty to join the business. In fact, when Hansie was, the speaker was speaking in that presentation, Betty came and told me, you know, it's as if this guy knows exactly what we were going through. And he was saying the things that we actually related. That's how it took us a day or two to join the business. We didn't haggle. We didn't say, look, let's try. We don't know if it will work or not. But if we try, at least we could succeed. And that's how we started. After 7 months, I equaled my salary. After 3 years, I fired my boss. So if you're a guest, pay attention. So what is this business that we are talking about? But first, Let me speak about the 4 ways that people use to generate income. The first is called a job. A job is when you're employed and you work for somebody. After 30 days, they pay you a salary. A job is good because at least you have income to put food on the table for your family, to have a roof over your head. You've got things to buy clothes, to buy food, and all those things. But I cannot say that at the present moment in the world economy, you can actually talk of having a secure job, because a lot of things can change so rapidly that your employer may come and tell you, we have more work for you. Secondly, because of technology, companies or businesses have found very efficient ways to do their business that requires less people. And this is what makes having a job quite insecure. There's also a lot of internal politics in the job situation. The second way to generate income is called self-employment. Self-employment is when you start a business, you borrow money from a bank, or you mortgage your house, or you take your life savings, or you take a loan to start a business. But the challenge with self-employment is, although you dictate how hard you want to work, but if the business depends on your physical presence, it means that if you fall sick, if you want to attend to family issues, if you want to go on holiday, there's no income that comes in. So the business actually owns you, you don't own the business. And a very simple test for that is, go away from your business for a month or two. If the business collapses, you don't own the business owns you. Number 3, big businesses. These are people or companies that invest huge capital. They employ lots of people to run their businesses on their behalf. But you see, when you employ a lot of people, you also have a lot of labor problems. Big business is not a path available to the ordinary person in the streets because of the huge capital required. The fourth way to generate income is investment. This is when you have money which is over and above your daily requirements, something which you want to put aside and put it in an investment or a vehicle that gives you a return on your investment. Is there an ideal business? Is there a criteria you can use to say, this is really an ideal business that any ordinary person who have got the courage, the discipline, can actually grow and build wealth? I think there are a few criteria to know what is an ideal business. It has the following elements. Number 1 is you need very low capital to start. In our business, you need about $60 to $100 to start a global business. So this is available to any ordinary person. You don't need to go and borrow a lot of money to start this business. The thing is, you need to work very hard when you start the business like this. The second element is you need to get involved in distribution of goods and services. This is actually how wealth is created. Why? Because everybody needs goods and services around the globe. So if you find an efficient way to provide goods and services to the public, you're going to be very, very wealthy. The third element is you need to have a global reach. Why is that important? For example, Betty and I stay in Pretoria on the eastern side. If we had a facility or a business or a shop, and only the people who are around here can get access to it, we limit our income level. But if the business we do is doing business in 50 different countries, then we increase our level of income. Our company does business in over 50 countries around the world. In Africa, we do business in 14 countries. And in these 14 countries has a population base of about 450 million people. So that shows you that you can actually, we've got a very large population still to serve. The fourth element is leverage. In fact, leverage is one of the secrets of very successful people. Leverage simply means you find a way to multiply your time, your effort, and the way you conduct your business, you increase in time. For example, the banks. The reason why banks open branches is so that they can leverage their services. The reason why retail shops or food franchises open branches is because they want to leverage their services. Leverage simply means you find a way to cooperate with others and you multiply the time which your business does, that conducts its activities. The fifth element is you need to get involved in consumable, high quality products. Why is that important? Because consumable products have repeat sale. You see, a pair of shoes doesn't have a repeat sale. A car doesn't have repeats. In fact, this is what I find very, very exciting. Look at the industry of refrigerators. Refrigerators always have, the business keeps growing all the time. But refrigerators are not a consumable product. What does that tell you? That consumable products have a high level of leverage for growing your business because people need these products every single month. They buy, they use, they finish, they buy, they use, they finish. The other thing you need in as an ideal business is you need a business system. What is that? A business system is a series of procedures, tools, equipment that you need to learn and implement on your business so that you as the owner of the business does not have to be present where your business is being conducted. That is why this business enables you to build a business in 50 different countries without being there yourself. You know, the first time after I got into the business, even 7 months or 8 months after I had joined, I still sometimes had to sit down and actually think, this business is just too good. The thinking behind the business was a masterpiece. The last thing is timing. Timing is very important because if you start the business at the wrong time, it doesn't gain traction, and it also either it's too late in the cycle or too early. So timing is very important. And at this juncture in the world economics, this business is actually the right thing because first, because of COVID-19, almost 250 million jobs were lost around the world. That means people are looking for ways to generate income. Number two, people have come to the realization that having a good health, having supplements is very important for your continued existence in life. Those are criteria for having an ideal business. But what is this business that we're talking about? What is network marketing? What is network distribution? Network marketing is a system of distribution of goods and services where we cut out the manufacturer, we cut out the middleman between the manufacturer and the consumer. I remember about 11 or 12 years ago, I went to do a presentation in Lusaka, Zambia. And I was doing a presentation, and one of the ladies who was in the audience was working for a beverage company. And she told me that 330 mils of that beverage from the factory was 600 kwacha. By the time the same beverage goes to the supermarket, it was about 3,600 kwacha. Why was there such a difference? Because between the manufacturer and the consumer, there are several middlemen who keep adding to the cost of the product. There's advertising, there's retailers, there's wholesalers, there's transport, there's regional distributors, there is local distributors, people who keep adding to the cost of the product, and who pays for it? It's the customer. So what we do in our business is we cut out the middleman between the manufacturer and the consumer, and the money which is available which should have been paid to this middleman is what is paid to distributors like ourselves. So in this business, we don't have advertising. We don't have wholesalers or retailers. Products are explained to the customers. So customers actually make a very well-educated decision before they buy the products. The products are researched and developed on your behalf. And this is a very unique element of our business. You know, when you want to start a business, first, you have to decide the product or service you want to provide to the public. Number two, you have to do a research and develop your product. Number three, get raw material, manufacture your products, package them, put them through testing procedures, have them registered in each market you want to do business by the government bodies. All this has been done on your behalf. And this is what I really find fantastic and exciting about our business. All that stuff has been done on your behalf. So although you're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself because the company has already done a lot of work on your behalf. So you're partnering with a company which has got a lot of years of experience. There are no qualifications required in this business except three things. You need to be teachable, you need to work hard, and you need to have a passionate desire for success. If you have these three things, nothing will stop you from becoming successful. And this business started as a result of the dream of one man, Jerry Brasfield. In 1958, Jerry had very, very serious asthma when he was a teenager. And his mother gave him natural remedies. And when his life improved or his health improved, he decided, I think I'd like to share this, my experience with people in my small town. He decided to get into the nutrition industry from a small town called Porterville in California. Today, Neolife operates in 50 countries around the globe. But why has Neolife stayed all these years in business and at the cutting edge of business and research? 5 things. They are called corporate principles. The first is absolute honesty and integrity. We believe that we need to tell our customers, the public, the truth about our products and what the business can do, what the products can do, and we treat the public and our customers with great respect, absolute honesty and integrity. The second element is people are number one. The most important resource we have in our business is people. If we don't have people, we don't have anything. The third element is products that work. Neolife spends a lot of time. They put together a group of scientists whose job is just to develop first-class, fantastic products. The fourth element is equal opportunity for everybody. Whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're old or young, whatever level you are, whatever you do, everybody in this business starts at exactly the same level. Whether you're 18 or 81, a man or a woman, old or young, anybody who is really serious about becoming successful can do this business. And the last thing is having a long-range vision. Having a long-range vision means that initially you have a 2 to 5 year horizon, which means that if you follow the system, between a 2 to 5 year period, you're going to be financially independent. Now, why do people start this business? People start this business for so many different reasons. Some people start the business because they want a better life for their children or their families. Some start the business because they want to have big and fantastic homes. Some people start the business because they want to buy good cars. Some start the business because they want to have holiday homes or want to take holidays. Some start the business. In fact, I would venture to say most people start the business because they want to make money. I think it's important for us to realize that money is not the most important thing, I agree. But I think it ranks somewhere with oxygen. Money has got 3 uses. 1, money is a measure of wealth. 2, money is a store of wealth. And number 3, money is a means of measuring the exchange of goods and services. That is really what money is for, but it plays a very, very important role in our lives. The other reason why people join the business is because they want to be physically fit. So when you start the business, you're partnering with a company which is more than 60 years old, operating in over 50 countries around the globe, and is supported by the Scientific Advisory Board. This is a group of scientists with top-notch qualifications and experience. We have pharmacists, we have biochemists, we have people in nutrition, people in manufacturing, people from so many different fields who are the top in their field of science. Company put them together just to research and develop the products. And this is done for you as a distributor. If you join the business, the Scientific Advisory Board is actually working on your behalf, is working with you for your business, okay? We have 4 ranges of products in our business. Which are these ranges? The first is called the golden home care products. Products we use for cleaning the bathroom, the kitchen, the toilet, anything you use for cleaning, we have it in our business. Why is this important? Because every home needs to be cleaned. The second one is the personal care range of products. These are things like hair shampoos, hair conditioners, hair shampoos, hand and body lotions, actually hair conditioners, things that we need to use to make ourselves look smart. The third element is the nutrients organics. These are things that we use to make our skins better. Whether you've got oily to combination skin or dry, normal to dry skin, we've got the products for you. Products to cleanse and detoxify your skin, to balance and invigorate, to activate and nourish, to protect your skin from the elements. So we've got fantastic products in our range. And the last range, which is a high selling range of our business, is a nutritional or healthcare product. Why is this important? Because your greatest wealth is your health. How does this business work? This business works when you get engaged in what we call 3 daily success habits. Number 1 is we use the products ourselves. Betty and I have been using these products for the last 26 years. The products we use for cleaning, we buy from our business, health supplements, skincare products, anything we need in our home. If we cannot get it in Neolife is when we go and buy it elsewhere. So the first thing you need to do is use the products ourselves. There's another very good reason for using the products. You're supporting your own business. And people that you're going to recommend the products to want to know that you also believe in what you're recommending. So, because the company does business in different countries around the globe, the company has standardized the measurement of business, which is not linked to currencies. We call it the point value system. 100 PV or 100 point value is equivalent of about 160 US dollars. So the second thing we do in our business is we share the business. It means we introduce other people to become promoters of the products. So if you introduce 6 people to be promoters of the products, plus yourself is 7, you build a 700 PV business and your income is about $45 a month. The next thing you do is you teach the people you brought into the business to do what you are doing. Let's assume the person on the top right corner introduces 2, and those 2 introduce 2 others each. You'll have built a 700 PV unit, plus the other 6 gives you 1,300 PV. And your income is about $90 a month. It's not a lot of money. I remember our first check in the business was $3. But after 7 months of hard work, our income reached $1,000. So it starts very small. The next thing we do is we teach the people we brought into the business to do what we do. Eventually, you'll have all the 6 doing 700 PV, plus yourself is 100 plus 100 PV, gives you 4,300 PV. Your income is about $580, $700 a month. And that is just the beginning. What happens next? What happens next is that some people will not be interested to be promoters of the products or business builders. These are customers whom you get a profit of about 20% because as a registered distributor, you buy the products at a discount and your customers pay the full retail price. The third thing we do in our business is personal development. This simply means that you spend time to learn about the products, to learn about the business, to be a business leader. So through training, support, and personal development, you become a better business person to build a larger business. If you want to earn more money in the business, you need to help other people become directors like yourself. If you help one more person become a director, your income is about $1,000 a month. If you help 3 people become directors, your income is about $2,000 a month. If you help 6 people become directors, your income goes way beyond $5,000 a month. President's team member. And at this juncture, I would like to introduce my president's team member. a man who my wife and I are grateful for introducing us to this business and also holding our hands to teach us what this business is built. And for the last 27 years, he has been quite a pillar of support in our business. Hansie Cronje. Hansie, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm with you. Good evening, Pascal.
Good evening, Hansie. How are you?
No, my life is a song, you know, and it's great. You sit in Pretoria and I sit here in Cape Town. So good to link on with you tonight.
Thank you.
Well, good evening, everybody. It's a wonderful privilege to be here on the call with you tonight. And thank you for an absolutely excellent presentation tonight, Pascal. Every time I hear the business presentation, I get excited all over again because I realize this is just not words alone. It really is working, and it's working in so many people's lives. And the guests that are here tonight that I have the privilege to meet for the very first time, welcome on the call also. I still remember the very first time I was sitting in a presentation meeting, and I was just wondering what this is all about. I didn't understand everything so clearly from day one, but I was very, very open. And let me tell you how it came about that my wife, Lydia, and I got involved in this very exciting opportunity. I was a full-time pastor in the ministry. I enjoyed tremendously what I was doing, but I could not pay all the bills. And that was the simple thing that really held us back. So I was very open because the bank manager kept on calling me all the time. And he asked me this question. He asked me, Hansie, when are you going to pay back all the money that you owe me? Because I had to borrow money to really make ends get together. And I couldn't give him a good answer. And I said, well, I'm working on it. What I actually meant, I was praying about this to ask God a way out of this. And then one day at a meeting, good friends of ours with the name of Mike and Renee asked me a very simple question. They asked me, Hansie, how would you like to supplement your income on a part-time basis? And I was very open. I said, well, if it is something honest and legal, I will be willing to listen to you. So they started to explain to me. And at the end of the day, my wife and I were very impressed with what they said to us. But we were not sure if it's going to work for us because we were very deep into trouble financially. And when they told me the small amount of money that we needed to get started, I didn't even have that money available. I was totally broke. So I had to borrow the money from the bank to get started in this opportunity, the little that we needed to pay. So that was really, really challenging. And I realized, you know, if you want to do something and you see the potential of something, don't use any excuse to get away from it, to run away from it. If you pray for an opportunity and it comes your way, you've got to grab it with both hands. And that is what we started to realize. And we also, you know, I experience a lot of stress. Every winter time, I remember, I think in Kenya, East Africa, especially, you call it the rainy season. But every winter time, South Africa, it gets very, very cold, you know, sometimes minus degrees, -3, -4, -6 degrees, even sometimes -30 at certain places. So every winter time I was struggling with bronchitis and I didn't know what to do. But since we started this business opportunity and we started to make use of the most amazing food supplements, my life has changed so tremendously. Now we are very, very healthy as a family, and we just keep on going. But we were really at a very tough spot when we look at this opportunity for the first time. my wife was expecting our second child, and she was 3 weeks away from giving birth. So that was not the perfect time for her as a woman to get started in a brand new business opportunity. And also, you know, her time was very limited because our firstborn son was born cerebral palsy. And he was also asking a lot of attention. And because of that, my wife also was bound down to look after the family, and she could not go out there and work for a second income. So as Pascal, I was also in exactly the same position, that the income that I could bring in the house was the only income that we had. So it was very tough on us. And I remember when I had to make the decision, my wife and I, to get involved, the first challenge that I had when I must make the decision was that I had a big ego. You know, I studied for 7 years, a lot of degrees. I was teaching people all the time, and now suddenly somebody comes along and they just told me, listen, you know, you're very broke. You must listen to us, and we're going to teach you how to make money. I had a somewhat of a little bit of ego about that. And but then when I look at my bank balance and I look at my car that was falling apart, I realized they could teach me something. And I decided to have more of an open attitude. I also had to overcome the thing that we call the blame game. The blame game is you look around you and you start blaming people or your government or the taxes or anything like that, and say they are the reason why I'm struggling. But I realize all my complaints is not going to do anything for me. I have to make a stand, and I have to do something. I have to take responsibility for my own life. And now that I'm offered an opportunity to take responsibility, I have to make a decision and be strong. The other challenge that we had is time. You know, everybody who looks at a business opportunity like tonight can say, I haven't got the time. All 24 hours of mine is fully booked. I agree with you. I was exactly the same situation. But then I realized I have to look at my priorities a little bit. And when I look at my priorities, I realized there's a few committees I was serving on that could do without me. And when I just left that committees, I thought, well, they cannot go on without me. But let me tell you, they were even better off when I left them, because they easily found other people who are willing to work for them. And I had a few hours available, and I could start investing 5 hours per week in my business on a part-time basis. And I tell you, it started to make a tremendous difference for us, a tremendous difference. Because we had a dream. We had a dream to get out of debt. We had a dream to have a better life, to have better health, to touch other people's lives in a positive way. You know, I remember how many times people came to me for help, and I couldn't really help them because we were totally broke and we were not in a situation to even support people in any way. So that was really, really tough. But let me tell you, we started the opportunity and we did it in faith. We took the decision that night when we were explained about what it's all about. And I realized that it doesn't help to go and ask the advice of other broke people out there, because they will give you broke advice. So we had to make the decision and trust God for the outcome. And what an amazing journey we started more than 30 years ago. What an amazing journey. I remember the first time when I drove a brand new E220 Mercedes Elegance while it was still on the floor, the tank full of petrol and fuel, and drive it from the floor for the first time, a brand new Mercedes. I remember that smell of the leather and just that amazing feeling. And I was thinking back on how many people said to me that this will never work. But I was so encouraged, you know, because you need a good car that will start every time in the winter time, a good car that you will respect when you drive it. and a good car that will bring you where you want to be in a safe way. And that was just an amazing experience. I also remember the first time through this business opportunity that we went to our first international convention in Disney World in the United States of America. What an experience, what an experience. And I remember how exciting it was. And my wife and I just pinched ourselves, and is this really true? Because we had to get passports for our first international flight. We never had passports because we never thought that we would travel the world. And, you know, we could give our children an amazing gift by taking them to Disneyland in Paris for one holiday some years ago. And I remember how excited they were, and still today, how they rave about this amazing holiday. And now we stay in Cape Town, here on the West Coast, bought a house here, and we attended so many world conventions in more than 50 countries. And the big thing that we're working now on is to encourage the team to go to bigger heights. We have met the most amazing people all over the world, and in East Africa and West Africa, all over Southern Africa, the most amazing people. And together as a family, we improve each other's lives, and we just go forward. And now we're working on the next generation. I'm getting my children involved now, and they are the next generation that's going to take this business further when my wife and I cannot do it anymore, because this business is willable. So this business gives you everything. And you know what's the highlight of everything for me? Today, I'm a freelance pastor. I'm still doing ministry. I'm excited. I've still got a calling in my life. And, you know, I keep on doing it. And nobody has to pay me anything for the ministry. And I tell you, that is the highlight of my life. So we are living the dream. So folks, when I share these things with you tonight, a little bit of our story, there's so much to tell. You must see tonight as a guest, as a brand new person looking at this through this window. You must think, if it can work for Hansie, if it can work for Pascal, if it can work for so many people, Pascal and Betty and Hansie and Lydia, it can also work for you. And you have the opportunity to start in an exciting business opportunity where you can write your own success story. And we will be there to support you all the way with events and training and everything. And we'll be there for you, and we will support you all the way. So you have everything in your favor to make sure that you can become successful. And let me tell you, we only started. If you can just realize how big this opportunity is for you, how big this opportunity is all over the world and in the country that you stay, how big this opportunity, it's an opportunity that you can't even imagine where it's going to take you. You will travel the world, you will make a big difference in you and your family's lives, you will touch many, many lives, and you were busy with something so positive. And you know what? I want to end off by saying we have the most amazing company. During this pandemic, we were declared an essential service company. We have the most amazing support. You get your own website. We have everything in place, and the best products in the world developed by a scientific advisory board, as Pascal explained so well. So I just want to close tonight by saying, thank you for the opportunity to share a little bit of our story, to give you hope, to encourage you to make the right decision tonight for you and your future and your family. And thank you, Pascal and Betty, for being the amazing leaders that you are and just showing the people what this is all about. So God bless. Have a good evening. And over to you, Pascal.
Thank you very much, Hansie. I really appreciate that story. In fact, when you're explaining about the first time you were in your Mercedes 220e Elegance, smelling of leather, I actually felt the goosebumps. So that's really fantastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, That's the story of Hansie. Each of us has your own story. The difference between Hansie and you, if you're a guest, is two things. One is that he made the decision to start. Number two, he committed himself to the business. If you have those two things, your story can be either like Hansie's or maybe better, okay? One of the things the company has done to make the business efficient is to take full advantage of technology, especially the online services. If you want to order products, you can do it online. If you want to register new distributors to build a team, you can do it online. When you register with the company creates for you your own back office. It's a personalized website where you can send a link to your prospects, to your friends, people who want to see about the company or the products. You can share with them your link to your back office. Training is done locally and internationally online. Delivery of products. Each market that our company is doing business, we contract local courier companies to deliver products to our customers and distributors. Payment, either for the products or payment of bonuses by the company, is done by electronic funds transfer or by mobile money. So the company has tried to make the business as efficient as possible. One of the things that Hansie talked about is traveling. He talked about traveling to the Disney World. Every year, Neolife in different regions meet to share their experience. Different distributors from for example, in East Africa, there was a meeting in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, around the 27th of August. In Southern Africa, we had a convention on the 20th of August in Pretoria, where we live. So the company tries to give you a bigger perspective of what the business is by traveling to different destinations, as long as you commit yourself to the business. How do you get started? If you're a guest, after this presentation, get back to the person who invited you. It's called your sponsor. They will give you an application form to fill. You will pay your registration amount. In South Africa, the registration is now between 830 and 2,810. In Kenya is 7,620 or 9,280. In Nigeria is 20,600 or 26,500. In Tanzania is 145,400 or 178,400. In Uganda is 211,000 or 251,000 Uganda shillings. So in the markets of East Africa, the prices are going to go up on the 15th of October, and in Nigeria too. So if you're a prospect or a guest in those regions, make sure you make your decision quickly to start the business. In USA, the starter kit is $75 US. Sweden is 930 Swedish krona. Italy is 64 euros. Ghana is 448 or 715 Ghanaian cedis. In Cameroon is 52,000 francs CFA or 65,000 francs CFA. So different regions have got different startup packages. Get back to the person who invited you. Remember, success always begins with a decision. Success, you cannot succeed unless you make a decision. Yes, I want to start this, try this business. Once you've decided to join, you've paid your registration amount, you've started in the business, there are a few things you need to have to do or have to be successful. Number one, you need to have a dream. You need to have a desire to want more than you have currently. So know what you want. What is your dream? What is it that you've always wanted to do? Number two, find out what you need to learn. You need to be teachable. Because most people who join the business join with little or no experience. So open yourself to learning and being taught. Number three, hard work. Sheer hard work. Discipline, guts, persistence, patience, all things are necessary for you to become successful. Number four is you need to have faith in yourself. faith in your sponsor, that is the person who invited you, and faith in the company, in the products, in the business itself. If you have these things going for you, nothing will stop you from becoming successful. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. What decision are you going to make? And whatever decision you make, your life will never be the same again. What is next for you? The next for you is to get together with the person who invited you. They will guide you, they will show you how to build a business. And if you follow their footsteps, if you follow their guidance, nothing will stop you from becoming successful. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for spending this evening with us. I want to hand over back to Paul. Paul, can you hear me? Okay, I think Paul is somewhere still on the road, going back home because he had quite a busy day. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. God bless you and good night.
Good night.